She just almost immediately exclaimed, was like, "It's you!" And I was like, "It's me?" Hello you guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. What is up? My name is Dia. Nice of you to join us for today's video. So in my last video, I did promise that I was gonna come up with perfume recommendations, like Middle Eastern fragrances that smell sophisticated, elegant, classy, luxurious. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in today's video. If this sounds like something you might be interested in, then definitely stick around and keep on watching. In total, I have about 6 recommendations for you guys. 4 of them are from Lattafa and 2 of them are from Paris Corner. Now, with the Lattafa perfumes, these are fragrances that I used sometime in the past. Like, I used them up, so I don't have the bottles with me here. I do, however, have the fragrances from Paris Corner, and these are recent addition to my collection. So we're gonna start with the Paris Corner fragrances, and then we'll talk about the Lattafa fragrances, but this is not going to be in any particular order. We're just going to be talking about them as we go. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Khair Felicity, and this is one of my newest addition to my collection, which is also a new release for Paris Corner. Now I love this fragrance, and I honestly did not expect to like it very much. But the reason why I want to talk about this fragrance first is because I think that, not even I think, I got a little bit of flack in the comment section because I haven't used the Wedding Silk Santal, and I wasn't able to confirm whether this fragrance smells like the original or not. And you know what? I'm gonna take those comments as constructive criticism for like next time, because even I mentioned this in my original video, I do understand that, you know, the Wedding Silk Santal is a lot of people like that fragrance, and so if this perfume claims to be duping the original, I can understand why people want to know if this does smell like the original. So, you know, I'm gonna keep that in mind for next time. But one thing I can absolutely tell you about this fragrance is that it is worth it. She does give classy, elegant, sophisticated. The simplest way that I can describe this fragrance is that it's a warm floral kind of gourmand scent, because it opens up with a vanilla, and I'll be honest, when this fragrance first came through my door and I tried it, I wasn't able to pick up any scent notes because it was so faint. But when I came back to it, like, it opened up with a vanilla, and the vanilla is very reminiscent of the Vanilla in Latina by Maison Alhambra. And as it's drying down, I get like floral notes, and a particular floral notes that really sticks out, like in as it's drying down, is like something that is very, it smells like grass, because back home where I'm from, we have these green grasses that have a particular scent. And so I'm starting to realize that that is probably what is mostly described as like a green scent note. So it's like there's a grassy greenery to it in the depth, but in the total dry down, what is left is a sweet combination of like that vanilla and the florals, which is kind of powdery. Now, I know that there is a champagne scent note. Well, there's supposed to be a champagne scent note with this particular perfume. Personally, I don't really pick up on the champagne, but what I do pick up is something that is kind of citrusy. I haven't used the Wedding Silk Santal. Okay, I haven't. But the very total dry down of this perfume reminds me of one other Khair fragrance, which is a Deja Vu White Flower. They smell very much alike, not the same, kind of alike, and that one too is a warm floral scent. But the difference between this one and Deja Vu White Flower is that Deja Vu White Flower is very powdery, and this is less powdery. There's a little bit of powderiness to it, but it's not very powdery, if you get what I mean. Yeah, so I can confidently say that if you love Deja Vu White Flower, I think that you most likely like this one as well. If you are in the market, if you're looking for a warm floral gourmand scent that is classy, sophisticated, I think you're gonna like this one. The next perfume that gives classy, sophisticated, luxurious is Bayn Al Asrar, and let me tell you, this is not a safe blind buy. This is not a safe blind buy. That opening is very sour, and as it's drying down, you get like a certain bitterness. Initially, I thought the bitterness was coming from like the almonds, but there's no almond in this particular fragrance. We do have hazelnut, and there's also labdanum. Am I saying that right? I don't know. So the bitterness could be from one of those, but as it dries down, you get sort of like a fruity floral blend of the scent note that is kind of powdery. It's sweet. It's also slightly spicy, but I do find that the opening is not great. It's not great. Once you're able to get past the opening though, you do get something that turns kind of like soft and feminine, which is very shocking to me because the opening is kind of sharp. This is said to be inspired by Amouage Guidance. That is a fragrance that I haven't used, and honestly I do not plan to because it's out of my tax brackets. But if anyone can confirm if this smells like the original, that would be nice. One thing I can say, however, is that she's not everyone's cup of tea, but if you like her, you like her, because she does give grown, she does give luxurious, she's sophisticated. Well, now let's get into the Lattafa fragrances. The first one that I want to talk about is Nebras, and this one I would describe as a fruity gourmand because you get that sweet combination of like the vanilla, the sugar, the cacao, but there are also fruits like the orange mandarin and the raspberry. So it is given, it's sweet, like it's a sweet gourmand, but there's also the fruits. You also have like floral scent notes in there, but those don't pick through very, they're not very strong. And in the very total dry down of the fragrance, you get something that is herbal, fresh, like mintiness in the depth, but she gives grown, like she's gourmand, she's sweet, but she's not like a juvenile kind of gourmand. She's mature, although she can be considered a vanilla fragrance. I do find that she smells more chocolatey vanilla as opposed to just like a vanilla, you know. And so I think that that was part of the reasons why I was a little bit underwhelmed with the fragrance, but she really does smell good. I remember in one of my videos I rated her like a 9 out of 10. She is that good. Okay, she has an average projection, but she's super long lasting. Like she would linger on your skin and linger even more on your clothes. Now this is said to be inspired by Billie Eilish's first fragrance, the number 1, and I can confirm that these do smell, they smell like a 98% similar. The difference here to me is that Billie Eilish's fragrance does have a little bit more vanilla than Nebras. I did however notice that the longer Nebras macerated, the sweeter it got. So you know, I guess it does get better over time. But if you're looking for something that smells gourmand but that's like more on the mature side, it's classy, it's elegant, but it's very suitable for everyday wear, Nebras is the one for you. Now another one that I really liked, that I absolutely love, is Teriaq, and this fragrance made noise in the perfume world, I want to say, because of the nose behind it, Quentin Bish. I always wonder if I say his name right, but yeah, that was a very sophisticated, elegant fragrance. I remember whenever I had this fragrance on, that was a compliment that I got. Okay, you smell elegant, and I, up until that point, I had never heard someone give me such a compliment about the way that I smell. Anyway, now the fragrance opens up a little spicy because of that pink pepper, but I did however realize that the more that I had it, it wasn't as spicy as it was the first time that I sprayed it, so that's something to note. So it opens a little peppery, and as it's drying down, I get like the strong hints of that caramel and the honey. Now I did peep some floral notes in there, but those were not like sorry, now those were not like at the forefront. They were kind of like acting in the behind the scenes, and then you know that light leather that just warped around that scent. I think the one thing that I particularly enjoyed about Teriaq was how smooth the blend was. It just felt like all of the scent notes just collabed, you know. The first time I got it, she was giving kind of subtle, but not light, but kind of subtle. Like she was a kind of fragrance, I keep referring to fragrances as she, but anyway, now it was a kind of fragrance that when you have it on you, it's not going to announce your presence, but if people came to like a certain distance away from you, they will be able to smell you. Okay, she will create like a nice scent bubble around you that will leave a scent trail, but she's not doing too much, she's not beast mode, but she definitely gave elegant, she gave classy, she was that girl. Okay, now I know that they released like an intense version, and hopefully in due time I will get it, but I am trying to be mindful about the way that I got our fragrances, and I do realize that I bought quite a few this past few days, so I will get to that very soon. But for now, I'm only going to recommend the original, the first one, Teriaq, not the Teriaq Intense. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. The next one I'm gonna add to this particular video is Velvet Rose, and this one I feel like is kind of like an honorary mention, simply because although I do feel like she gives mature and sophisticated and a certain class and elegance, I feel like because of she might come up as a little sharp, which could take points away from it, but she still gives classy. Okay, now this is a sweet rosy scent that is spicy, and the spice kind of pulls incensey. The rose in here is sweet. I do feel like it kind of pulls like a fruity rosy scent. I don't quite remember if this was a little powdery, I don't remember, but I would say, however, that if you enjoy rosy fragrances and if you like spicy fragrances, if you don't mind like, because you know Arabic fragrances tend to have this scent that is very characteristic of them, so if you don't mind those kind of fragrances, I think that you'd absolutely love Velvet Rose. One thing that I didn't like about this perfume, however, was the bottle. It wasn't very durable, and well, not the bottle itself, but the cover, it came off, and it was the whole thing. But the perfume itself is nice. Okay, now she is pretty strong. Like I said, she can come off a little sharp. She's pretty strong, not necessarily beast mode level, but kind of getting there, almost there. And she lasts very, very long on skin and on clothes, because hey, she's a rosy fragrance. Most rose fragrances do tend to be like that. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. She does give elegant and classy though, so yeah. The last fragrance we're going to be talking about is Amethyst Oud, and let me tell you, Amethyst Oud is that girl. Now, she's not everyone's cup of tea. She is definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but once you like her, you like her. Now, the opening of the fragrance, terrible. In fact, I'm going to flash back to my first impression of that particular perfume. I'm gonna add that to this video so you see how I felt about it. But the opening was not when I got my hand on this perfume, let me tell you my first impression. When I sprayed it, it was giving very much pesticide, insecticide, gasoline, petrol. However, once you're able to get past that opening, what you get is a sweet blend of florals. You get that jasmine, that rose, and it's heavy. It's slightly spicy. And personally, I wasn't really getting a lot of oud in it, but I'm sure there's oud in the fragrance, but it's probably kind of like a floral kind of oud. But she is slightly spicy, slightly powdery, a very heavy blend of that rose and that jasmine. I do feel like you have to be someone who enjoys rosy fragrances to really like this one. Rosy, spicy, heavy, dense, kind of like floral, combos with fragrances to really like this one. She's a tough one, but she does give luxurious, she does give sophisticated, and I absolutely love the bottle. I love the color of the bottle too. One thing I would say, however, is that it does have, just like the Velvet Rose, it also does have like that scent that is very characteristic of like Arabic fragrances. So if you don't typically enjoy those kind of fragrances, you might not like this one very much. But if you do, that's not a problem. Now, she is beast mode. She's going to announce your presence. If you wanted to go incognito and then you put on this fragrance, it's not gonna work. Yeah, because everyone will be able to smell you. This one experience that I had, I went to the bookstore one time and I was walking like up and down looking for something, and then when I finally got the thing, I went to go like check out the thing, and then there was this girl, and then she just almost immediately exclaimed, was like, "It's you!" And I was like, "It's me?" And she was like, she was catching like a whiff, like she was smelling something in the bookstore, and she kept trying to find out like where the smell was coming from. And so like when I got close to her, she finally realized that the smell was coming from me. So one thing about that fragrance is going to announce your presence, is going to leave a scent trail. She smells good. It's going to leave a scent trail, and it's very long lasting. But that is everything I have for you in today's video. Let's do like a quick summary of everything we just spoke about, but like very, very quick. Now, if you're looking for Arabic fragrances that smell classy, luxurious, but you wanted something that was more gourmand, I would recommend Teriaq, Nebras, and to some extent Paris Corner's Felicity as well, because it is a warm floral gourmand scent because of that vanilla. So those three will be your options. Now, if you wanted fragrances that were more fruity, floral, or more floral, then you would want to check out Bayn al Asrar, Velvet Rose, and also Amethyst Oud. Like those three might work for you. These are the fragrances that I am recommending to you guys because those are the ones that I have tried, used, you know, tested and all of that. The more I use other fragrances that fall into this category, I'm sure the more that I will make more recommendations. Okay, but for now, this is where we're at. I hope that you found this video helpful. If it did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye.